Very warm welcome to the EdQueries e-learning library, a place where we make learning fun for our children. And today we have another topic, an exciting topic for all our young ones and little ones. But today's course is for a little older children, and the course is shopping. So who doesn't like shopping? When it's so hot in Delhi, we would always prefer to shop in a mall, in that air-conditioned environment, instead of roaming around in the streets. So, but to shop, there are certain prerequisites our children should learn. And what better way than to generalize the topic in a game form? Right. So that is how we came up with this idea of shopping as a game, for our children. You do get a lot of board games also. And as I always keep saying, try to generalize the topic before, after you introduce it. First, you introduce it on a tabletop with money, with items. So your child should have a rich vocabulary. He should know what are clothes, what are toys, these categories, so that when we come to the shopping part, generally the terminology used is more of the category, right? We will be going to buy groceries, we are going to buy utensils, we are going to buy clothes. So this much vocabulary is, a prerequisite for a child to whom we are going to introduce shopping. And of course, money has also been introduced. We had our previous video was about money. So the children now know that there is money transaction involved when you are, going for shopping. You have to pay for the product and then only you can pick it up. But shopping has a lot of other things, which a child should know. So without much further delay, let me get into the course. Let me show what all EdQueries library has to offer to our young ones. So let me share the screen. So our shopping course is now in the life skills. There is a course. So if you go to all courses and you come to life skills, you will see shopping as a separate topic. We have kept shopping as a separate topic here because the number of courses, the number of games in shopping are so many that we decided to keep it as a separate course altogether. And shopping not only just involves, identifying the objects or just buying or just paying, there are a lot of other things like looking at the expiry date or looking at a menu card when you are in a restaurant. So all these are a part of our shopping. So I am here in the shopping game, and the first game which you can see is called Listen and Learn. Now, in many courses, if you go in the EdQueries, there is a listen and learn part. It is usually the first, course. And Listen and Learn basically, familiarizes the child to the course content, what all are there in the course, what all the child should know. This you would see a lot in our mathematics, English, science games also. And here in shopping, let's see what the Listen and Learn course has to offer. So let me enter. And I'll restart. So there are always two tabs. It's if you want to restart the game from the beginning, you will do the restart button, or you can resume. This will resume from where you have stopped. So I
listen carefully and look at the pictures to learn. Click next to go to the next screen.
So here,
there are different ways of paying money.
It
Some
talks
of the
about
common
paying money
ways of
in a
paying
shop.
money are cash, card, payment tab. Cash can be paid as notes and coins.
So when we know
When you
our
pay
children
cash,
are aware
you
of
may
money,
have to
I told
pay
you
the
last
exact amount.
video was about money.
It would be useful to carry cash as several notes and coins of different values. If you don't have the exact amount, remember to collect the excess amount that you paid from the shopkeeper. For example, if you paid 200
This
rupees for
talks
a
about
toy
the
which
balance
costs
you have to
180
collect if
rupees,
you pay
you
more
must collect
money.
20 rupees before you leave the shop. Congratulations. Click retry to start again.
So this was a little brief about the shopping game, that you need to pay money and you have to collect the balance amount. Now let's get into the games. The first one, of course, is to select the shop, to know where to buy what.
In this game, read the question and choose the correct picture by selecting the item. Then click submit. Select.
So this one is, where do you buy eggs from? If you see, there are two options given for the to the child. One is a grocery shop and the other is a medical store. So the child just,
Where do you buy eggs from?
listen to the question. I have just put the cursor on
Where do you buy eggs
on top
from?
of it. So the child need not even read. He can listen to the question and then select the shop.
Excellent.
If you do not
Select.
want the audio, there is a button here where you can switch off the audio also. If you want the child to read and you do not want the audio part, that option is also available. So where do you buy clothes from?
Good job. Select.
Now, the next one of the most important thing, this game is very special to me. Why? Because this was the first game, I could think of for when I got, with Ed Queries. I realized that Karthik was not able to read MRPs. The MRPs were written so small that it was, practically impossible for him to identify. And then it would always have the paisa, component also, like 101 rupees and 50 paisa. That time he was not aware of such things. So that's when I suggested, why not, have a simple game with the MRP highlighted. So this was my first game, which we could think and which I visualized, and so it always has a special place in my heart.
Then click submit. Select.
Now, if you see, the MRP is very clearly written and it is in total round figures. There are no paisa right now. So this is the introductory part, the introduction part of MRP. So this basically familiarizes the child, he comes to know ki, okay, there is a price to each and every component. I have to read the price to buy that, the first initial thing in any shopping concept. So once the child, okay, I have selected 50 rupees. So for bread again. Now, I always keep saying, as a special educator, or as a parent, we need to, yes, we have to introduce concepts, but first we need to simplify it as much as possible to the child's level so that the child is able to grasp the concept. And this one helped Karthik to understand that there is a price attached to each and every component. So to every product. So that is why always think of ways of simplifying the concept. Make it as simple as possible to the child so that the child first grasps the concept and then he is able to utilize it. Now, once you've done this, the next game which we have is basically an understanding of what is cheaper. Now, here the child by this time knows which is the larger or greater number also. So whenever you're coming to concepts like money, whenever you're coming to concepts like shopping, make sure the pre-math and the math concepts are very, very clear to the child. So the child should have a good knowledge about numbers. The child should also know the greater number, the smaller number, which is more, which is less, which is heavy, which is light. So all those pre-maths concepts, the number concepts have to be clear to do these, otherwise it will be difficult. So make sure to do all that, teach him the greater number concept. Once yes, there is no harm in going wrong, but the basic idea of a greater number, or this is bigger, or this is more, that idea should be there in a child, to play these games. So,
Football. Foot.
so I have to drag.
Football.
Sorry, I have to drag.
Excellent.
So,
Drag the cheapest item.
so there are 3 items here. Let me do the
Toy
raw,
blocks.
the most expensive one. And
That's not correct.
so it shows that
Look at the correct answer.
this
32
answer
is less than 93 and 78. So the ball is the cheapest item.
So
Let's
from
try the next one.
here we go
Drag
to
the
the
cheapest.
costliest item. So if this is the cheapest,
In this game, look at the images. Read the
same,
cost of
but here
each
now we
item
are choosing the
and then
expensive
drag the
one.
costliest item into the cart and click submit. Drag the costliest item, toy block, toy horse. Excellent.
So this basically gives the idea
Drag the
to the
costliest
child
item.
about the item which is costly or more expensive. Now, there are few problem sums or story sums kind of scenarios also here.
In this game, read the sentence and then select
So
the
there is a
correct
small
answer. You may also click
three-line,
the
four-line
sentence,
passage
hear the
kind of thing the
sentence,
child has to
then
understand,
click submit,
and then,
select.
choose the correct answer.
This umbrella
The
costs
system reads out the
120
question.
rupees at Ram's shop and 150 rupees at Bina's shop. Rizwa wants to buy a cheaper umbrella. Whose shop will she buy the umbrella from?
So either you can read out the question or explain the question to the child and let him select, or the system itself will do it.
Ram's shop this umbrella.
So
Excellent. Select the cost of a the cost
So
cost
again,
of the
see,
water.
there are small problem sums which the child has to read, analyze, and then do it. So these basically increases the comprehension and understanding of the child also. And for many of our children, I would suggest initially read out the question to them so that it is easier for the child. Because what happens, children with developmental delays and language deficits, when they are into the process of reading, analyzing, then answering, it's a long chain of things which a child has to do. So the child with a low attention span may suddenly lose interest, because he has to read all these 3-4 line sentences and then understand it, then compare it in his mind, come up with an answer and click it. So at times it will save all that energy if you read it out. So initially there is no harm in reading out the question. Later on the child can read himself and do it. So once this is done, the next course I would like to show you is called Think and Shop.
In this game, look at the image, then
So
read
these
the
are
question,
small critical
then select
thinking,
an answer,
questions which the child has
then
to
click
answer.
submit, select.
So my mother went to the
market
and got me a dozen of bananas. How
My
many
mother went to the market and
So the
12.
concept.
12. Excellent. Select.
So again, a small problem solved.
1. Excellent. Select.
So a little bit about change. So these are all critical thinking, the child has to think and answer the question. See, for some children who are not able to do the mental math mentally, there is no hard and fast rule that you cannot give him a calculator. Please let him use a calculator, let him use a rough sheet to work out the answer and do it here. Let's make it as easy as possible to the child so that he wins, he gets the correct answer and he is happy about it. Another important topic which parents keep asking me about is getting the change, because most of the time the children do know about the round figure, right? But how much money to get back? Again, that is all the basic concepts, a problem solving summer concept of maths, wherein
you gave the
give a
shopkeeper
amount.
20 rupees. How much should you
Let's
get back?
listen to them. Right. So now you are here, you are giving 20 rupees, but the amount spent is 12 rupees. So you need to take the balance 8 rupees back, how to teach this concept. So if the child subtraction is good, when he comes to know the concept of a balance which is left, then only the child will understand in how to, introduce the same thing to the money also. So in money also, it's just subtracting the smaller amount from the bigger amount, and whatever left is the balance. So that's why I said basic prerequisites of maths has to be there in the child to do a shopping game.
Good job. You got back 8 rupees.
So
You purchased a pencil
another
for
one
7 rupees.
is about the supermarket, a very big concept now in the country, wherein almost
this game,
everything is
listen to the audio carefully
available in
and
supermarket.
select
And as
the
I
correct
told you,
place in the superstore. Then
basically
click
a lot
submit.
of
Click
categorization is
the listen
used
again
in
button
supermarket
to
or
hear the
malls,
audio once more. Shopping cart.
So a lot of categorization is used. So you do not individually name the product like a shirt or a pencil, right? Pencil would all be there in a stationery item. A shirt will be there in the clothing item. Okay, a chicken or eggs and all will be in their meat item. So this kind of categorization is also essential to basically identify where will I find the particular object I want. So I always tell parents also that we do not realize the importance of categorization. We generally teach, those the fruit, vegetable, vehicle, and animals, and we think it's done. Thoda more, if you say, we might teach them the land, water, or air, animals, or vehicles, little bit of bifurcation. But in language, categorization never ends. So there are furniture items, there are, items made of plastics, there are items made of metal. So in metals also, so many different types of metals, things which have buttons, in them, like my shirt can have a button, the switch can have a button, right? So never stop with categorization, go on teaching it. It's one of the most important way the brain learns a new language, a new identifies a new object. Yeah, supposing like I go to another country and I suddenly see this new bird. So even though I may not know the specific name of the bird, but looking at the features, the wings, the beak, the claws, I can, immediately identify, oh, this is a bird, it comes under the bird category. And that's how my brain learns that new language, the new word. It basically refers back to whatever information I had, which in special education term is called the schemas. So it matches with whatever previous knowledge I have, matches it with the new information which I have in front of me, and comes up with that new knowledge. It adds on to the new knowledge. So keep teaching categorization to your children. So what was it?
Shopping cart.
So shopping cart is here.
Well done. Chicken.
I need to buy chicken. So for chicken, I need to go to the meat
Well done.
category.
Onions.
Onions would be in fruits and vegetables.
Well done. Mangoes.
Mangoes will again be in fruits and vegetables.
Well done.
So see,
Bananas.
this teaches us basically to look for the product under a particular category. Another very important, item in shopping.
Read the question, then
So if you see,
select
we've
the
tried
correct
to keep the
answer.
picture, the realistic picture of a can with the expiry date,
Then
and the
click
question
submit.
follows.
Answer.
So this can be purchased before. So best before 2012.
Good job. Answer.
So there are these kinds of questions wherein the child is taught to read the, expiry date and then select the
job.
correct
Answer.
answer. Very important when you are buying perishable items, things which can go, bad, like our dairy products or any other food item which has an expiry label to it. Furthermore, certain games are about how much change to get back, which I have already
In this game,
showed you.
calculate the amount of change for each purchase and select the correct answer. Then click submit. Touch the Listen Again button if you want to hear the question again.
So again, if you notice, each and every game
Sonia bought
has
a pair of shoes for
Sonia
700
bought
rupees.
a pair of shoes
She gained
for
700
rupees.
rupees. How much
She gained
should she
1000 rupees.
get back? How much should
I
she
think I just
get
pressed the
back?
audio again. So now again, this is a game on balance. And as I said, if the child is not able to mentally do it, there is no harm in giving them a calculator or a paper and pencil to calculate it. And then, doing the answer, searching for the answer here. That's much better than, making the child go anxious about how to do this bigger sum, mentally. So
Where will you buy eggs from?
now we have other forms of games also. Now here, if you see, there are three options given and there is a question, a booklet of questions which are there. Where will you buy eggs from? So it shows the correct answer. I can go to
Where will you buy
the
clothes
next
from?
clothes from. So a visual medium basically gives the child the, immediate visual recognition also. Vis-a-vis, if we give just, the written text, at times it is difficult for the child to visualize the whole image, and basically we know that in autism there are inherent processing delays. So why, make the child anxious by not giving visuals? I always encourage parents to use visuals as much as possible so that the processing delay is cut off and the child is able to give the answer instantly. And that is a win-win situation for the parent as well as the children also. So this was a brief overview of our shopping course. Hope you like it. Do like and subscribe. Go on, get on to edqueries.com. Go in for our free 2 weeks trial and make learning fun for our children. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.